Hello everybody and welcome back to Sagevivor Season 9. Friendly reminder, if you have not already, please smash that like button for me to show your support for the series and consider subscribing. It really helps out me, but not only does it help out me, it helps out the cast of Sagevivor and future cast of Sagevivor. The better that this does overall, the more that I can turn around and reinvest into the series as a whole. This episode we are going into a swap, so everybody's getting tribes swapped around. There's going to be 3 tribes instead of 2 tribes, so we'll kind of talk about that dynamic and maybe we will have on the screen a breakdown of those tribes, but it'll always be in their confessional regardless. So in these tribes, we did ask them for this challenge of negotiations to select a tribe leader who will determine who's getting immunity and who gets what. So each tribe sent a representative. They all kind of had to negotiate on how to separate a bunch of different items that I had given them, some of them being immunity, some of them being an extra vote or steal a vote, and then some of them being losing your vote in the next tribal council, which heavily affected this episode, who went to tribal, etc. So we are going to be getting into that. Enough yapping, let's get into the tea.
Like, I will flip on the fucking bets. I do not give a shit.
A wild ride right out of the gate.
People can grasp onto that, they'll trust you, and they will...
I could see us going at it, but, we'll see.
Hairs on the sand. Tide rolling in. Choose your hand.
Holy shit, okay.
Blood in the water. Pick your partner. 2 names, 1 torch. Who's going farther? Says bad, chant gets louder. If you can't swim with your blood, get out of the water. Blood in the water. Waves hit harder. Oh God, new spark tribe gets smarter. Says bad, raise that fire. If you can't swim with your blood, get out of the water. Day 1 pairs up, lines in the shore. Vet with a rookie, do you teach or score? Handshake tight, but the current shift. Trust like a raft, can it hold that drift? Whispers at dust, plans by the pit. Notes in the palm, who's counterfeit? Idle in the tide where the moon runs harder. Red don't rip, well there's blood in the water. Blood in the water. Blood in the water. Pick your partner. 2 names, 1 torch. Who's going farther? Says by bad chant gets louder. If you can't swim with your blood, get out of the water. Blood in the water. Waves hit harder. Oh God, new spark tribe gets smarter. Says by bad, raise that fire. If you can't swim with your blood, get out of the water.
Hello, Sagevivor. It is Nick S here doing my confessional for episode 6. Just wanted to give you guys the rundown on what's been going on. So basically, obviously we swapped this episode, but there was some things, before we swapped that I kind of wanted to go over. Just, an understanding there. So, yeah. What do I want to start with? Oh, okay, so partners. Basically, before the swap, most of our tribe, the Way tribe, we've all been, anticipating a swap is going to come soon. We thought it was going to be at 16. It didn't happen. So, okay, for sure it's going to be at 15. Maybe there's a small chance it's at 14, but, we're all expecting a tribe swap. So we're all trying to get prepared for that. And that on top of the last challenge in the Hotel of Horrors, basically that meant that everyone was talking about, partners and whose partner is close with who, and who do you want to work with at a swap, who do you want to work with at a merge, that sort of thing. So basically the talk of the town just became what you got, what information you got out of your partners at the Hotel of Horrors, because most people got a chance to talk, obviously, unless you're Ethan and Erica, where Ethan checked out immediately, but most of us got a chance to talk to our partners. So for me, I got that Mason was the closest to Sarah, which was perfect because I'm closest to Becca, who is their partners. Sarah and Becca are partners, so that works out really well. They're also loosely working with Dirk and Ryan from what I understand, so I think that puts me in a pretty good spot because their partners are Melissa and Austin. Ethan, I'm not sure where he's at on the other tribe, and I know that Gary's on the bottom. And then Katie's kind of a wild card. What I've heard about her is that she's really, really tight with Sarah, but she doesn't have many other connections according to Mason. But yeah, it was basically just everyone kind of, and it was funny, everyone was kind of being fake. We're oh yeah, our partners, they really like each other and we really like each other, so let's work together. I probably had that same conversation with Erica, Becca, Melissa, Carter, pretty much anyone who would listen. So that was pretty interesting.
So we finally got our swap, and it's not too bad. It's me, Sarah, thankfully. Happy to be with Sarah, Mason, who I feel, decent about, Carter and Casey. And Carter is Katie's partner, so feel decently comfortable over here.
Sagevivor episode 6. It is October 1st. It is spooky season. It is 10:22 p.m. Central Standard Time. So let's recap a little bit on Snowy. Snowy went home basically unanimously. It was, I guess, a blindside. Not really sure why he didn't feel like he was on the bottom. I almost flipped it onto Gary. I thought about it. But Dirk that morning had kind of thrown Gary's name to Snowy. And so did Mason. But Snowy told Gary, who told Ryan, that Mason threw Gary's name. I also found out much later that Mason told Gary this, that he would use Gary's name as a decoy, and he told Gary to use his name as a decoy, Mason's. I video chatted, I was on video with Snowy for 2 hours before he went to sleep, where I told him that I had heard Mason's name the most. I pre-voted Mason. Mason and I are kind of a secret duo-ish. Katie was my number 1. Mason was was my number 2. I trust Mason, but Mason seems to not be putting in a lot of effort with a lot of people. I don't know if he's connecting with others. I think that I might be his strongest ally, but I do suspect that his name will continuously pop up, and I don't know how much longer to protect him, but right now I need him.
Alright, so for this episode, Spro, I believe Gary and Ryan were the 3 representatives for the challenge. And, let's see, Spro ended up getting an extra vote and a coin, and in return, the other 2 lost their votes, but they won immunity. So yeah, we're at Tribal now. There's myself, Spro, and Dirk. We just created an alliance together. And then there is Casey and Carter. Carter's the one that's been basically playing with everyone, trying to get them to think that Nick voted Melissa, even though Nick is close with Melissa. And I brought it up with Carter, and he was like, oh, I didn't tell anybody that. And then he automatically assumed Dirk told me, because he did tell Dirk. So Dirk asked me if I said anything, and I told him I did not. And Carter also apparently told Dirk that he didn't really like Melissa. I don't know why he would say that to Melissa's own partner, but more power to him, I guess. I really wish we could vote out Carter right here, but I don't know if it's going to happen. I'm not trying to ruffle any feathers. Spro and Dirk prefer Casey more. I mean, I really don't care either way. Casey does not talk at all, really.
So anyway, we voted out Snowy, and all I could think about was how Jules and I video chatted with people before we blindsided them. And it seems to come naturally. Dirk was kind of giving me some shit about it. I don't feel bad. I mean, he asked me for a voice chat. I couldn't say no. He knew I was off work. Can't be fucked. Sorry. So Snowy went home. Dirk is currently watching the resurgence, and he told me that it's a jigsaw puzzle. Sal, Dylan, and Snowy are competing. Snowy, as of right now, I think has not done it, but the other 2 have, and Sal has beaten Dylan. So if Sal comes back into the game, Sal's gonna be my best friend. We're just gonna bring him back on in here. Yeah.
So right before the swap, Melissa tells me that when Gary and Melissa were the last two people at the Hotel of Horrors, and basically Melissa told me that she only told me and Becca, but that Gary ended up being like letting his tribe lose so he could get 2 pieces to an idol. And to activate an idol, you need 3 pieces, which means Gary is 2/3 of the way minimum, if he didn't already have any pieces, 2/3 of the way to an immunity idol. So that's a little bit worrying, but it's good to know. I'm very thankful that Melissa told me. It makes me feel a lot better about me and Melissa moving forward.
Okay, video recap time. We are swapped onto 3 tribes of 5. My nightmare. I hate it. It's like the worst. I never have luck in these swap situations ever. And it's so funny because Nick was saying to me before, we were like, oh, I wonder if we'll swap. Oh, 3 tribes of 5. And he says, you imagine if you get swapped with a pair, how much that would suck. And I'm like, shh, don't put it out there. Don't put it out there. And then I get swapped with not 1, but 2 pairs.
Okay, y'all are getting an audio message this round because not much has happened. I mean, we swapped, and I'm in a very tricky spot with Ethan, Erica, myself, Austin, and Melissa, because Melissa is Dirk's partner, who is obviously my number 1, and Ethan and Erica are partners as well, and then Austin's my partner. So 2 duos and then 1 single, but that 1 single happens to be Austin's number 1 and my number 1's partner. So it's a very tricky situation, and I wanted to avoid tribal at all costs, which I did. However, in the process, I had to lose my vote, which isn't fun, but that's okay. I think it actually might help me because then I don't have to get my hands dirty if we do go to tribal. I have the excuse of not having a vote. So yeah, I think what I would try to do is there's 2 options, right? Well, actually 3. There's myself, Ethan, Erica. Well, not me, but Ethan, Erica, and Austin just vote out Melissa. There's Austin buys an extra vote, and him and Melissa vote Erica out 3-2. Or there's Erica, Ethan, and Melissa vote out myself or Austin, which I think it would be Austin if they did that, but that's obviously not something I want to happen right now. Although it could be nice if Austin leaves, actually, because I don't know if he's an asset or a detriment to my game right now. It's kind of interesting because he doesn't seem to have like a number 1. Although the last game we did play together, like where I met him and everything, he said that, but he did have like a lot of strong allies. So maybe he's just like keeping some cards close to his chest. But at any rate, those are my options. I do not want to go to tribal, and I'm expecting Snowy to come back this round, and to join Sarah's tribe. Sarah is getting scarier. Ethan and I have already talked about it, that we would, we need to get her out at some point because she's very social and has a bunch of trinkets.
Yay, me. And seemingly great that I get swapped. Eric and I are cool, and Austin and I are cool, and yay. So I guess it could swing one of 2 ways. The pairs could band together and say la vie, sayonara, Melissa. Or there's the stress of, what direction does Melissa go? And thankfully, I didn't have to worry about that today because we were a winning tribe and I didn't have to worry about it. I imagine there'll be another challenge maybe, and hopefully we'll be a winning tribe again, and I don't have to worry about it. So I don't even want to think about it because I don't want to have to worry about it. So I'm going to put that out there and manifest it. We'll win. We're going to win. We're all going to just be winners and not have to worry about any of that. Now, seemingly, if I did, Ethan wants to work with me. Erica's like, I told him I love you. I told him we're good and I trust you. And he really likes Ryan. So poor Austin, we'd have to vote out Austin. don't really love that. Austin's like, I've got you, I'm holding on for dear life, and Ryan wants to work with you, and you probably want to vote out Erica, I'm assuming, because Ryan and Ethan are having a little flirtmance or whatever it is that they're doing, so they're not going to want to vote for each other.
I am currently shitting bricks. Ugh, 3 tribes to find is so tiny, and the odds of getting fucked over are so high. Really just want to be on a tribe with at least 3 or 2 of my allies. Any 2, any Katie, Sarah, Dirk, Ryan, any of them. Any of them. Don't give me Mason or Gary. Ugh. Okay, so here's how the tribe swap worked. It's just me and Ryan, which is my closest ally. I got swapped with my closest ally, so that's good. That's good at least. We also got swapped with my partner Erica. Bomb diggity. Fuck yes. Okay, love that. We also got swapped with Ryan's partner Austin. Okay. T, love that, honey. Fuck yes. We also got swapped with some random girl named Melissa. I don't remember whose partner that is, but whatever. It's Melissa. That still doesn't make me feel that good, though, because, those 3 are probably going to want to stick together. The thing is, though, Melissa's definitely this swing vote. She's like, oh, do I want to go with Ethan and Erica? Do I want to go with Ryan and Austin? Or just us 4 could come together and be like, hey, instead of having Erica be this, instead of having Melissa be the swing vote for us, why don't we just vote out Melissa? Why don't we just vote out Melissa? Because she's the swing vote. Potentially, let's just vote out Melissa.
Hi guys, welcome to episode 6 of Sagevivor. My tribe is immune, so there hasn't really been a lot going on, to be honest, other than socializing, getting to know each other. At the beginning of the tribal for the other side, when my tribe was immune, I did have a really deep talk with Ethan and Melissa, basically what would happen if we were to lose. And we did talk hypothetical scenarios and what we would do, what would happen, but other than that, nothing has really went down on my tribe. I don't know, I feel like when you're immune, people just kind of take it step by step and just talk. I feel like if you spend the whole break time talking game, people take it as what you have built is fake, or they just take it as disrespectful, I guess, because that is your time to get to know your people when you have that free time. And when you spend that time talking game, when you don't have to do anything game, I feel like that can just come off very weird. I know for me, that does. I feel like everyone could be different, but I know for me, if I'm immune and you're immune and we're all immune, why do you want to sit in my DMs and talk game? So, yeah, my tribe has just been being social, talking to each other, liking each other, and other than me, Ethan, and Melissa talking about hypothetical scenarios, it's all just been a personal talk, whatever, and that's about it. I don't really have anything exciting to tell you, I'm afraid, but next tribal, hopefully I will.
My goal right now, in case we do go to tribal, is to really, 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 really get to know Melissa and put on as much charm and as much I'm gonna be talking about shit I don't even fucking care about. As long as it keeps Melissa's attention and makes her like me more, I will do whatever Melissa wants to hear. Maybe I won't. I will say whatever Melissa wants to hear. Doesn't mean I'm actually gonna do it. But whatever makes Melissa like me and trust me is what I'm gonna do. Melissa right now is my number 1 focus right now. Because if we do go to tribal, it's going to be so messy with 2 pairs potentially vying for a 3rd person. But then you also got to think maybe the 3 water people will just want to vote out the blood people. We don't know. The people on my tribe are so quiet. Ryan doing the challenge leaves me with almost nobody to talk to. Erica, I don't know what Erica does. Where does she work? Taco Bell or some shit like that? I don't know. She's also high all the time, so this girl's I feel like I can't get a lot of conversation out of her, but the moment when she is on, she's yep. But when she's not on, which is I feel like a lot of the time I'm on, I don't know. She's just not there. Girl, where you at? And Austin, Is that his name? Yeah, Austin. I don't know where you're at either. Like, I mean, obviously, this is my first time meeting you, so I don't know your whole work schedule and whatnot, and like where you at most of the days. But like, where you at, boo? Where you at? I mean, I still got like 4 hours left in the day, like 4 or 5 hours left in the day. But it's just like, oh, I got nobody to talk to. My other tribe, there were so many people. Now I'm just bored, which is like honestly what I've been asking for. Now I can just like do stuff in my own life, but like, I don't know, where you at? Oh my god, I don't mean to be a hater, but like, I don't know, something about Austin. He's just like is so chipper, and it's like everything he's been saying has been. I'm like, okay, chill out, dude. Like, I don't know, your positive energy is just too much. Like, I don't know, it just seems fake. Like, you're just coming off as fake to me.
What's going on? It's Austin, episode 5 or 6 or something. I don't really know. Can't remember. I don't give a fuck. You look at my floating. Look at these fucking wrinkles. Anyway, vibes are good. I'm at the swap. The swap tribe that I'm on consists of me, my partner Ryan, my number 1 Melissa, my bottom ranked member of my newbie tribe Erica, and then her partner Ethan. Now Ethan, as far as I know, is like very well connected in the returnee tribe, but Erica is not well connected at all on the newbie tribe. However, Ryan, in his very flamboyant, flirty gay self, loves to flirt with every guy who gives him attention, and essentially is like, I love Ethan, we flirt all the time, like he's my guy. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm so tired about it. And like, Ethan is like very flirty vibes too, and like I think both of them are like in a relationship, so like this gay banter is too much for me. Regardless, whatever. Then there's Melissa, my number 1 from the newbie tribe. However, she's not really that active, but she's not as inactive as Erica. But the more I think about Ryan, the more I'm like kind of like pissed off, because Ryan comes to me and he's like, okay, my number 1's Dirk, which is like Melissa's partner. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, that's kind of what I've been going with. I've been operating on that, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, that's my thing. But then now Ryan's like, no, like me and Ethan. And Ryan is like, as partners, like I know Ryan is, like we have the banter, like I kind of talk similar, but like, I don't know. Ryan, he's always a little frustrating. He's just always like, yeah, like I have my alliance with like everyone on my tribe. Like everyone thinks everyone's my number 1. Like I know Sal went, but like I love that Sal went, because like that makes Gary closer to me. And so like basically like Ryan hints to me that he like wants to vote Melissa should we go to tribal, right? Because like that will keep Ethan happy, like his number 1. So to make matters even more tricky, Ryan doesn't have a vote now because he had to sacrifice it or something to win the challenge, which we just won, which I'm for. But now if we go to tribal, it's like Ryan doesn't have a vote, but he already told Ethan that he doesn't have a vote, which now really makes me annoyed, because I'm like, okay, why are we telling Ethan everything? Low-key, I'm like, I don't know, like, Ethan seems really nice. I enjoy Ethan, but, like, Ethan's not anything I haven't seen before. I have seen this type of person many, many times in my life, and it's, I don't know, in this season, I'm kind of feeling, like, a little more, like, bitchy, a little more conniving, a little more cutthroat, and I've kind of just been like, maybe I should, like, somehow pull in Melissa, buy an extra vote, and, like, blindside Ethan.
Basically, we swap. We go into 3 tribes of 5, and the first tribe happens, and the draw is happening, and I see Sarah, I see Mason. I'm like, ooh, this could be a really good opportunity, and then I'm not picked. But the good thing about that first tribe is that Sarah, Mason, and Dirk all got put together, all 3 of them. And that's really good because 1, they were already working together, and 2, those are the partners of me, Melissa, and Becca, who are a really, really, really tight trio on the Way tribe. Why? I don't know how to pronounce it. But it enforces them, like they're going to be forced to work together more. Because at this point, my ideal situation at the merge is me, Becca, Melissa, Sarah, Mason, and Dirk. Like the 6 of us getting together and trying to run the show as like the 3 duos.
Hello. I am once again recording this in my car. Well, today's after work. I think last time it might have been on my lunch. Because I don't want to forget to do it. And I'm going to do stuff on my way home, so I might forget, and I have to work when I get home. Anyways, that is not interesting. What is interesting is this tribe swap. So we're gonna have new rankings, new people involved. I definitely saw this swap coming. We were all kind of like anticipating a 5v5v5, so it's fun. I feel like myself and my allies got very lucky in this swap. And like, cause a swap can make or break your game completely. So having my number one Nick by my side is very lucky. And I was getting closer with Uli, so that kind of worked out in my favor. And also Katie is there, which I obviously know is Sarah's number one, other than me, obviously. So that works. And I knew that Sarah hates Gary, so if we have to do something, we could do it to Gary.
Alright, so this round we had the journey thing. It was really a challenge, but I'll call it a journey because it was also a challenge. Basically, it ended up being me, Katie, and Ryan representing each tribe. And we had to decide on what we were doing in terms of like immunity and all that crap. Well, it kind of worked out, I think. I was able to get immunity. I did lose my vote kind of as like to counter that, but yeah, I think it went okay. It was relief seeing them and not some people from the other tribe. I think they were relieved as well. It all kind of worked out. Sarah got like a coin and an extra vote, I think, but then was not immune. But her tribal was supposed to be nice and straightforward, so won't worry about that. And then, yeah, it's just been kind of chilling. We don't have tribal or anything. It's been pretty low-key. Just, you know, the usual BS checking in with people and stuff. But yeah, that's really it. Not much kind of happening. I did broach the topic of an alliance with Katie and Becca. They seem okay. Nick seems interested in working with me. And he's Mason's partner, so I'm good with that. And then even Yuli, I mean, I think Yuli's the vote whenever we go back, but I mean, he's been very like responsive and stuff when I message him. So hopefully we don't ever have to go back to tribal in this setup. It would kind of suck to put him out, but it's also probably going to be the case. Also, I don't have a vote. I don't remember if I said that with the journey, but I lost my. That was part of the thing, so I don't have a vote. So if we go back, it might get kind of hairy, but I do have 2 shards, so theoretically, I should still be kind of okay. If I had to play them. I don't want to play them, but if I had to, I could.
Though I also know he has 2 idol pieces and probably a few coins and probably some other junk. So yeah, it might be interesting if we have to go to tribal, but luckily we don't. The tribe that is going to tribal is Sarah and Mason and Dirk, who are all aligned. Which is nice, and it's the 2 people from my tribe that I hated the most, so if they take out Carter, that's good, which they might, because Sarah wants to separate Carter and Katie.
Alright, Sagevivor. I feel very solemn right now making this video confessional because we swapped and it sucks. And I didn't get swap screwed per se. Like, I think if we went to tribal, I would figure my way out of it. I'm not that worried. But, like, my least favorite part of playing Survivor is having to do the whole, like, let's feel each other out thing, right? And like 9 times out of 10, there's like at least a few people that I like really jive with. And then there's some people I'm just like, oh, this conversation is like feeling forced. And I'm very, very grateful that I swapped with Becca because I can already tell like we're gonna vibe. And obviously she doesn't really have a choice. Like Sarah and I are number ones. Like, girl, you're about to be my friend. Like, listen, you don't get an option. But like we haven't really talked that much. She's busy, and I just feel like we're also like, I don't know, feeling each other out still too. And I don't really talk to Gary because it's really hard to talk to Gary. And I like had people I really would talk to and enjoy talking to on my other tribe, and all of them are in different tribes right now. Like, how are you gonna put Sarah, Dirk, and Carter on a tribe together and not me? A 5-person tribe, they're majority. Like, girl. And I was enjoying like, oh, I broke my braid. What the heck? Okay, well that's cute. See, nothing's going my way right now. Guess I broke that one too. Just take my hair out now. This is the day we're having. Like, how are you gonna do that? And it just sucks because I just felt like I wasn't feeling like I was in an amazing place in my old tribe, but I felt like I was in a good place, and I just also like enjoyed talking to them. And now I just feel like I'm so not as invested as I was into this game, and I'm finding it hard to stay motivated right now to stay and play. Like, I'm not to say like, not like I'm gonna quit, because let me tell you, hosting another org, I realize how freaking annoying it is when players are like, I quit. No, but just like we didn't even really have a challenge. Like, we sent Gary off, and I think Gary was being honest about the challenge. He might have lied about what Sarah got or whatever, but yeah, I'm just like, ugh. Now we're not going to tribal, which is great. It means I'm safe, blah, 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 blah. But that just means like a whole other cycle. And then there'll be a challenge cycle that hopefully, like, give me a scavenger hunt. Give me something. Like, just bored. So that's how I feel right now.
And if they take out Casey, even better, because I'm pretty sure she voted for Melissa. My alarm just started going off. So yeah, we got really lucky. I think this is going to bond me and Nick closer. I think this will bond Melissa and Erica closer, which was already a problem. So yeah, maybe if they go to tribal, that would be best case scenario, because then they can dump Erica.
So they all got put together, so I was very happy with that. They also were put with Carter and Casey, 2 people like Casey have no relationship with. Like, she's basically inactive, and I voted for her, and I'm pretty sure she knows. So interesting there. And then also Carter, who, like, it's been weird. Like, we were close at the beginning, and then we're not close anymore, but it's like we kind of have a relationship still, to where, like, I don't think the door would be closed at a merge, but I don't know. We also haven't talked about him accusing me of voting for Melissa yet, so I don't really know. I was happy to be away from him, honestly, because that's just like, I can kind of ignore that part of the game. And then next I get drawn, so I know I'm going to be sticking on the Weiwei tribe. And then I see Becca, and I'm like, yes, I'm with Becca. Like, that's my number one. And I'm like, Melissa. And then both of our trios could stay intact, and we could both have majority. And Melissa doesn't get drawn. But it could have been worse, because we did get Uli, who Becca and I were in the majority alliance with. So we also got Gary, who's alone, and then Katie, who I didn't get a chance to talk to at the Hotel of Horrors. And who Mason wasn't particularly close with. So that's a little bit worrying there. But yeah, so basically that's our tribe. On paper, it's decent because me, Becca, and Uli can just stick together, and we can either vote off Gary or Melissa. Or not Melissa, Gary. The 3 of us, me, Becca, and Uli can either vote off Gary or Katie if we lose the challenge.
Glad we won the challenge. I'm super happy about that. Honestly, I'm just super happy about everything. Like, everything. Like, Fridays, Mondays. Okay, maybe not Mondays, but, you know. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Nothing much. Honestly. I feel cool with everyone. And, man, super, super, super sleepy.
So that's pretty good there. Yeah, so I didn't really talk to Gary, or I talked to Gary a little bit at the Hotel of Horrors, but like nothing like super substantial. So it'll be a good opportunity to like get to know them, especially Gary's a single. So like if I can lock in with Gary, like I could beat Gary's like number 1, number 2, maybe number 3, like come emerge. And that's pretty good because Mason and I don't have many options outside of Sarah and Becca. And like while I fully trust them at this point, I don't want Sarah and Becca to have the options at the merge, or like Melissa and Dirk. I want me and Mason to have options. I want us to be able to pick which way is best for us and like make a plan and stick to it and like have the control, because as long as the power is in our hands, I think we can honestly do anything.
So we swapped. I am now on a tribe with Mason, Dirk, Casey, and Carter. So obviously I'm sticking with Mason. Dirk and I were in a trio with Katie. Dirk was in an alliance with Gary and Ryan. And Casey and Carter, I was told by Nick, were very close. Becca said Carter was shady. Casey isn't around a lot. Casey's kind of lovely. I don't mind Casey. But she was on the outs. And there was a rogue vote on Melissa. And one of the later times that I went into the hotel, both Becca and Melissa told me that they thought maybe it was Casey who did the vote. The last time I went into the hotel, Nick told me that Casey and Carter were close, and he thinks that both of them were trying to pin this rogue vote onto Nick. And I don't think Nick did it. So I'm finding lots of similarities between the partners and the returning players, with the exception of Carter and Katie. So if that theme prevails, Mason is a really smart player. Nick must be pretty intelligent, pretty strategic. If Nick had been telling Becca and Melissa for rounds that he trusted them, they are his people, all this stuff, if he was going to throw a rogue vote on Melissa, I think that he would change what his parchment would look like. So, I don't know who it was, but I do know that Casey likely would have been the boot had they lost, unless like some fuckery happened. Obviously, we lost. We booted Snowy. And Becca, during the hotel, because she and Melissa talked about asking their partners if we'd throw, and I offered to Becca that I would throw. I ultimately didn't. But the hotel did end with Gary and Melissa. And that kind of brings me to my next point before we talk about this challenge that we just did. That was very annoying, by the way. Added to my things that pissed me off today list. Mason brought up to me last night that he was like, maybe they made a deal like they did like on your season. In my season, and I talked about this in my little mini confessional, but in my season, Jules made a deal with Caden very quickly. Caden offered her his idol piece to get out of the hotel, and she took it, and that's how she formed her idol. It was a very pivotal moment of the season. Her idol play was a defining moment of the season. Mason remembered it, and Mason like half-assed watched our season. Dirk watched it pretty closely.
When we did, the one thing though, when we got over here, one thing with Carter is, in the hotel, I did hear that Melissa was trying to suss out who threw a stray vote on her, and the running theory is that either Casey or Carter did to try to, and they tried to throw the trail onto Nick by saying like it looks like Nick's parchment and telling a few people that they think maybe Nick did it. And when I got here, I asked Carter about that, and he told me Nick, and I talked to Mason about it, who already knew about it. I knew he already knew about it from talking to Sarah. And then he told me he had heard it from everybody, like including, not everybody, but multiple people, including Nick himself. Carter came back to me saying that he had only told me, and Mason was like asking about it. And I told him, you couldn't have only told me because I already knew about it before I asked you about it. Bunch of people know about it. And I guess he said to Sarah, he's like, shit, basically. I guess I'm not as connected as I thought I was. So there's kind of some beef there.
Okay, so I definitely have soft screwed. Like, me and Casey are in a very bad spot. I'm lucky Sarah's here because Sarah likes Katie, and I think she would keep me purely because of the connection with Katie, which is something that I'm definitely going to have to play a huge, like, angle at to stay far in this tribe. Like, I know for this vote, Sarah might not flip with me, and Casey is probably going to go home here, which sucks because I don't want Casey going. The only good thing that would come out of it would be, like, getting the 2 coins. But anyways, so the reason I asked that question earlier in my confessional is because I was told last night at like 1:30 that from Mason that he heard from a bunch of people that I said Nick voted Melissa the round before, which I didn't tell him. I only told Austin that, so that makes me suspicious of Austin. But I've been denying it, saying that I did it to anyone today. For obvious reasons, I don't want them to, like, figure it out or anything, be suspicious of me more than I'm sure they already are. But I know for a fact, I can almost guarantee that the ratings between them are so similar. And I know that Nick voted Casey for the first round. He told me that. So the fact that the Casey and Melissa parchments are the same, and the fact that Nick is the one that was been spreading it around from what I've been told, is to me almost concrete that Nick is at least hiding something from that round, that he did something and now he doesn't want me, because I'm suspicious of him, to make it far in this game so it doesn't ruin his chances. Or this is just a good play by the returning tribe to, like, make me not trust Nick and Austin much anymore. So that's the 2 thoughts in my head. But, like, it does really annoy me that that's what happened, because I wasn't going to go after Nick for it at all. In fact, I'd probably vote Melissa over Nick 9 times out of 10 anyway, so if that's true, that's such a bad play on Nick's part. Anyway, me and Casey here are going to vote Mason, because I think Mason going is the best case for me. I can't do Sarah at all. And then the other option would be Dirk, but I'd want Dirk to at least somewhat trust me so he can be blindsided if we ever go back to tribal, because Sarah's indicated that she wants to do a Dirk blindside soon, and I do trust Sarah. If not, I'm going to the river, and I think they all know that they just ruined their chance to have a long relationship with Katie for the meantime. So I think there's definitely risks that they would be taking to get me out this early.
We did the challenge. So the challenge, we had to pick a leader. I kind of wanted to go for it, and Sarah kind of wanted to go for it. Well, Sarah definitely wanted to go for it. She was, like, aggressively going for it, and I just let her go for it. And Sarah, she's so dangerous. She got, so I guess what the challenge was they had 2, there were 6 things, and they had to divide them between each leader. 2 things of tribal immunity, 2 instances of losing a vote, an extra vote, and a sage coin. And I guess Ryan proposed and Gary agreed and Sarah hastily agreed that they would each get tribal immunity, they would lose their vote, and Sarah would get the coin and the extra vote. Lucky Sarah. Goddamn, she's getting everything. But, yeah, so, and she came back, she told the tribe that the 6 things were basically everything she said except one of the lose of votes she said was just no immunity. Which is kind of a clever idea. I had already kind of suspected something before she told me on the side that that wasn't the case and that Ryan lost his vote. So I felt good after I felt much better after she immediately told me what was up.
And I kind of brought this up to Dirk this morning before I went to do this challenge. So the challenge was each tribe had to select a representative to go. And for a minute I thought maybe it would be like endurance. So I went to sleep early just in case. And then when I woke up, like I saw that it was like the challenge is going to end at 8 MST. And I was like, oh, so it's not endurance. I went to sleep for no reason. But the only people staying up anyways, Carter and Casey, so whatever. And Carter is a little dry. Becca wasn't a fan of him. She called him shady, I think. And, yeah. So, her read's not terrible. But anyway, I was one of the representatives. But anyway, this morning, I brought it up to Dirk. And Dirk kind of played stupid with me. Kind of like, oh, that happened in your season kind of stuff. And I posted the screenshots and stuff in my confessional. And my bullshit radar was just kind of zooming. And I was like, hang on now. Another thing to note, I mentioned it earlier. Snowy did say that Mason brought Gary's name up. He never mentioned Dirk's name. And Dirk had mentioned Gary to Snowy that morning. But listening back to Dirk's voice memo, I don't know if necessarily Dirk threw Gary's name. It sounded more like hearing the name or whatever. But like, I don't know. My first initial impression was like Snowy was protecting Dirk. But I think I might have overthought that a little bit. He might not have been. Or it was either Snowy, Gary, or Ryan somewhere. Like this little game of telephone. Someone was protecting Dirk because his name was never mentioned. It was Mason bringing up Gary's name. But I think that might have been wrong. But I don't think I'm wrong with this hotel. Dirk watched it really closely. So I got to this challenge. And the other 2 representatives were Ryan and goddamn Gary. And then out of nowhere, I get a DM from Ryan. And he's like, oh, I confirmed with production that I could DM you. And I was like, fuck, that means Gary's probably going to fucking DM me. And what happens? Gary DM'd me. Oh! And he once again, like little short messages, until I asked him about the hotel. And he said Melissa beat him. And my bullshit radar was going the fuck off. I think that Gary either told Ryan, who told Dirk, or maybe he talked in their little fucking trio alliance chat. I think that they were the power core of the fucking, OG, what was our fucking tribe? Draw tribe? Whatever, the red tribe, blood tribe. I think they were the core. I don't think Gary necessarily was. I think he's just being dragged. And it's really stupid. I think Ryan could be a decent player if he just doesn't drag people. But with Dirk not telling me, like, I think that they're fucking lying to me. And it's really annoying. I put this in my confessional, but I was ranting to my husband about it. And I was like, I'm picking up, like, these fucking, like, it's bullshit. And he was just like, in Stranded and on Orgy, like, it's text, right? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, then why are they trying to lie to you? And I was like, good fucking question. I don't know. And I was like, I don't know if they're actually lying to me. Like, I don't know. It's just, that's my impression. I think that it's bullshit. And then Gary told me that he didn't get a coin from Sal, which also makes no goddamn sense. Like, But maybe Sal didn't. But you know what? Even if Sal didn't, I'm going to use this to throw Gary under the bus even further. Gary is on a tribe with Becca, Nick, Uli, and Katie. The other tribe which is the most interesting tribe, actually. This one, it begins with a K, but it's green. So the green tribe has Austin, Ryan, so a pair, Erica and Ethan, and then Melissa, which is very interesting because, and Ryan even mentioned, like, I'm close to Ethan, and Melissa is Dirk's partner, Austin. Erica was on the outs. So anyway, at this challenge, we had to divvy up 6 items. 2 tribal immunities, 2 lose a votes, 1 extra coin, and 1 extra vote. And it was pretty easy. They just kind of offered it up to me. And I imagine they're going to try to use it to paint a target on me. I don't care. Paint it. Paint it. I'm going to fucking take both of these. So I did. So my tribe is going to tribal. And we did come up with a story to tell most people. So I did post that lie in tribe, or the tribe chat. But I told the truth to Mason. I told the truth to Dirk, and I told the truth to Carter. And each one, I was like, I don't want it to get out, all this stuff. So we'll see if it comes back around. But you know what? What the fuck are they going to do to me? I have literally 4 coins. I have enough for an extra vote. I have an extra vote. And I'm pretty sure if push came to shove, Mason would give me his goddamn coins. So, like, if I have to, I'll steal your goddamn vote. Fucking try me.
So, we had to pick reps for the Resurgence River this round. Snowy crushed Sal by like 16 minutes in the jigsaw. Dylan DNF'd. So, Snowy won and is alive and well in Resurgence River. Which is scary. Scares me. But he gifted me his coin, which I pretty much shared with everybody because I know, Ethan and Uli were there. Snowy's partner. He gave me the coin over Uli. So, people are going to talk about it. People are going to know. So I just wanted to earn trust by being straight up about it. Maybe that's naive of me. I don't know. So yeah, he gave me the coin over Uli. I was very surprised. I don't know if this is just like kind of like trying to raise my threat level, or I think more likely he's trying to give an olive branch of like, hey, when I get back into this game, I need somebody to work with. And we had a decent relationship when I voted him out. So interesting to see what happens there. It's going to be an interesting part of the puzzle. It's so far, as far as the vote goes, Carter wants to vote Mason. Sarah told me Mason wants to vote Carter, but in the alliance chat we made, we pretty much just talked about voting Casey because Casey's inactive and Carter's been kind of sus, but it'll make less waves. I kind of hinted towards Sarah, like I kept talking about how like Carter's making me feel nervous and sus, and she was like, I'm not voting for him because that's Katie's partner, even though I kind of feel the same. And honestly, that's fine because that's what I already didn't think I wanted to vote him anyway, because it's good to keep people at odds. If Carter and Mason are at odds, then that's all the better, and Nick. And then if a bunch of people are voting out Carter and not just like me and Sarah, then that's probably better. And Mason, me, Sarah, and Mason, but more importantly, me and Sarah, because we're super closely aligned with her. But yeah, so as far as I know, it's me, Mason, or Sarah, Mason, and myself on Casey. Carter might vote with Casey voting for Mason. I don't know if they're going to try to pull any advantage shenanigans. Yeah. We'll see. It tribals very soon, and I'm a little nervous because Casey they haven't really talked to me much. Casey just reached out to me not too long ago, told me that she had heard Mason's name and not much else, and asked me about it. But I guess that's more than anybody else. She hadn't said anything to Sarah or Mason. So here we go. Let's hope things go well.
I do think Casey is going to be the vote. I pre-voted Casey. It might switch over to Carter, but I'm trying not to. So here's my plan. And I mentioned it earlier, and I'd been kind of toying with it even when we first got to these swap tribes. But now that I feel like Dirk lied to me. And like, why would you lie to me? I'm adorable, first of all. Like, I'm hilarious. Like, go fuck yourself. So, I need to keep Katie on my side. I think that, and regardless of where Carter lands, I don't give a shit. But if we boot Carter here, like as our first boot, I think Katie would be fucking pissed. Because even when Ryan got into, like, one of his first messages in our little challenge thread thingy, he was like, oh, you guys have an easy boot, right, Casey? Or something like that. It seems to be the perception it would be Casey. So I have to imagine Katie would feel like it's Casey. It can be Casey. Although I do like Casey. She is a rhythm gamer. I don't really encounter those often here. Outside of her and Wrath, I've only met one other one. So it's kind of annoying because Wrath promised me if we all swapped together and stuff, we would play Clone Hero. And then I booted his ass. And now I'm about to boot Casey. And I'm like, I'm never going to play Clone Hero with somebody.
It's safe to say I'm very annoyed, so let's get into this latest episode. Snowy was voted out from his tribe at the last tribal. Sending him to the Resurgence Arena, where they're now going to battle out with Snowy, Dylan, and Sal. We were tribe swapped this round. When everyone was tribe swapped, I was tribe fucked. Because now I'm in a tribe that has the minority. So it's me and Carter with Dirk, Sarah, and Mason, who I have found out through Dirk was a big part, well not big, well a part in my partner being voted out. With this latest challenge, it was picking a representative to do a challenge that we didn't know. We chose Sarah just because our availability was bad. I would, if I'm gonna be honest, we probably wouldn't have been available anyway because we're in the minority, but I will say the other tribes proved that not to be true, as they had sent Gary and Ryan as their representatives, who were in the minority in their tribe. Don't know what the white tribe members are doing here, but it is what it is. It happened. Come to learn, Gary is Ryan's basically closest person in this game. He'll do whatever he wants. Gary to Ryan, I should say. So they refused to not let go of that immunity. And for this challenge, it was 6 items that they had to divvy among themselves. If they didn't divvy, it would be randomized. So again, that's why they were holding on to that immunity, because they were in the minority. So Sarah, not to say she was happy to take that no immunity, but she would have rather have the no immunity and then have the extra vote, because the other options were extra vote, lose your vote, or earn a stage point. So now we're at tribal. Sarah really likes Katie, which is Carter's partner, so hopefully Carter's in the clear here. And me and him made like a little pact that we're gonna help each other out and get Mason. This was even before we decided that we're not even decided. It was decided that we're going to tribal. Yeah, we were gonna go for Mason. Not really sure why he chose Mason, but it's all making sense now. Nick. Oh, this guy, if this is true, I'm pretty sure it is true, guys, I have it confirmed by 2 different people, was going around telling people that Carter and I were telling people in our old tribe that Nick was the Melissa vote. Not true. Why would I say that? I'm not going to create suspicion about that because I was the Melissa vote. Hello. So again, so you just see, I'm fucking annoyed. Someone I had high on my trust list does not trust me, even though we talked all the time and him saying he won't put my name down. I won't pay his name down, but it's changed now. I'm going for your partner and I'm going for you if I survive this, which I'm pretty sure I'm not going to because I'm being ghosted by Dirk and Mason vote-wise. If you're gonna vote someone out, don't make it obvious. Just reply to them. Fake it. It's not fun if you don't do that. And yeah, that's basically all I got for you. We're hoping Sarah flips here because she likes Katie, and Mason got targeted on every other trouble anyway, so it's time for him to go, in my opinion. And again, you connected to Nick. Nick is not my friend anymore. I'm so sad. If only he didn't lie and say that. I told Carter if worst comes to worst, I'm willing to combine her coins, get an extra vote here, but he hasn't said yeah, I'm down, but he's yeah, if worst comes to worst. So didn't get confirmation on that. It is what it is, so I can vote it out. I tried. Bye bye.
I'm never gonna play a rhythm game with somebody in an org. Ugh. Meanwhile, I'm video chatting with Snowy for 2 goddamn hours. Anyway, so if we boot him first, I think that would ostracize Katie. Even if she came back to me or whatever, I think that there would still be this underlying tension or distrust. So it needs to be Casey here. If we lose again, depending on what the challenge is, I might fucking throw it. I would get Dirk out. I would really only need one person to vote with me in order to accomplish that. And actually, maybe even not that. It would really depend on the challenge and stuff. But because I by myself can have 3 votes. I have enough to buy an EV by myself. I have an EV and I have my regular vote. So I could place 3 votes myself. So unless Carter, Mason, and Dirk all vote together, if we lost a second time, which I think would be unlikely, yeah, I could get Dirk out. And I think that's what I'd want to do. I think keeping Carter as an option for me is good. I think that Carter would not cut me. He isn't close to Becca, though. Katie gave me his trust rankings, and I remember Austin being number 1, Casey being number 3. And I asked Carter last night how close he was to Casey, and he said that she was one of his 3 people that he liked on the tribe. So if we're going off of his trust rankings, it's not Becca. He also told Dirk that he didn't like Melissa. I don't know what this dude's issue is. You just don't fucking say that shit. There's one other thing. Oh, Gary pulled something similar at the challenge. He said that Becca was being weird. And I was like, I'd like to come back to this. What does this mean? He's like, well, maybe not weird per se, but she was asking me if I was close to Katie and stuff. And it's just a big red flag on the vote. And I was like, that's literally a normal. What did I say? It was like, it's a feature. It's a swap feature, not a bug. Literally, that's normal behavior. If you're going to try to target Becca, have a better goddamn excuse. But you better keep her fucking name out your mouth. Because I will literally rip you a fucking new one. Don't fuck with me. But regardless, they're safe. So, I think it's going to be Casey going home. Yeah, girl's kind of stacked a little bit. Hoping some challenges come up that maybe I can beast mode some more. I'm just going to build this giant target for myself. I think at this point, because the EV is going to be public. Ryan can't keep his mouth shut. Gary does not like me, so I imagine he's going to tell some people. But Gary and Ryan both lost their vote, which is nice. So maybe I won't throw. Maybe I would try to get Becca's tribe to lose in some way. I just don't know what he got from the fucking hotel. I I feel like it could be anything except an idol. I feel like an idol is really overpowered. But if it's the same way as it was in my season, it would have to be something that Melissa had to offer. But I could also see a world where Prod offers something, because they also did a thing where it was like you could come out if you lost your vote. And that wasn't a thing in my season from what I recall. So, I don't know. I don't know. But as of right now, Casey's the only one that doesn't know the truth about the challenge. But she's likely getting booted. Carter might tell her. Don't really care. I'm trying to open up a vote conversation with her. She's not super consistent. So we'll see. But I think I'm going to be okay for this tribal. Casey said she would not be putting my name on the parchment, which was nice to hear. I like her. I do like her. But I think that this is the best move for me. Whether it is truly or not, I don't fucking know. I'll find out post-season or when I get booted, I guess. Yeah, but my plan is to get out Casey and to get out Dirk next. You don't fucking lie to me. And you know what? I wish I could say I would feel bad if I'm wrong. But I'm not. But I would be like, fuck, like my read was off, damn it. And I'd probably overthinking shit all over again. But last season, 2 situations happened back to back where I didn't truly like trust my gut. I kind of pushed back on it. I did, like, one of them I brought it up to like Exy. And I don't think that one would have changed, even if I had done something. Even if I felt, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think it would have changed. But Liv, I could have changed that outcome. So this season, I am going to trust my gut. I'm going to trust my reads. This is what I do. This is why I make all these fucking unhinged notes. And I know it's insanity. I don't really care what anyone thinks about me. It does make it a little cluttered, though, my confessional. But it's easy to go back and look. And you know what's even crazier? So last season, I lost access. Any of these little things that I went to, like the journey or like pre-tribals, all those little things, as soon as I was out, I lost access. But I still have Resurgence, and I still have this fucking challenge, like, channel. And I think that y'all are fucking with me. You're doing this because I'm taking all these unhinged, like, fucking screenshots for myself, and you think it's funny. And it is. And I'm going to keep doing it just in case I lose all my access. But I have to scroll all of, like, so far. Like, I couldn't even remember what episode this was. And I had to, like, keep scrolling through all my fucking, like, confessionals to find that it was fucking episode 6. And I was like, oh, I got so stupid. But I think I'm in a pretty good position on this tribe. Mason absolutely would not vote for me. I don't think Carter would vote for me. But regardless, I'm going to be watching this fucking tribal. And if somebody wants to fucking buy some shit, I'm going to buy shit right back. I'm going to fuck y'all up. Try me, bitch. Anyway, I'm enjoying my swap tribe. And I think that's it. We'll see what happens. If anything crazy happens, like whatever, I'll make another video, I guess. But God, it's like 21 minutes. I don't know why I ramble so much. I'm so sorry, y'all. No, I'm not. Bye. Oh, and me and Becca were not the 5th boot.
And just like that, our girl Casey was voted out. Casey, thank you so much for playing. I hope that you enjoyed your time. Your time isn't completely over yet because we sent you to Resurgence River where you have a chance to get back in the game. Once again, friendly reminder, if you haven't already, smash that like button for me. 2 shows for the series and consider subscribing. I love you guys so much, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.